Famous criminal Milch has a scene with his equally criminal lawyer, but it is as relevant as Milch himself is to the overall story of Monster, so who cares? Point is, he has an escape plan. What a surprise. Milch fakes another illness, and we have the second and funniest scene in the episode.
それなら病院連れてってくれ。
すぐ戻るから待ってろ。まったく今日は次々と病人が運ばれてくる。
Why the sad piano? What a weird fucking show. Anyway, Tenma wants in on the escape plan. It is rather strange that the show frames it as Roberto's threat, which of course we flash back to, making you feel more urgent about this, given that he was already chasing a serial killer, so it's not like this raised the stakes or anything. I do have to say though, Roberto's evaluation of Eva's character is pretty spot on. Milch then makes a big fuss to give in to Tenma, which would have been a good scene if Tenma didn't feel the need to point it out. Tenma confesses to crimes he didn't commit, so that he can ride the same prison transport as Milch. I don't know if it would work like this, I'll take Naoki's word for it. The gang are all very shocked by this. Reichmann reminds Werdermann of Tenma's innocence, even though that really means nothing if Tenma doesn't want his defense anymore, as Werdermann already pointed out. So this is an exceptionally pointless remark. Roberto then calls Werdermann and randomly mentions his dad, who I will remind you was not a spy, and inquires about Eva's whereabouts. Luckily for her, Werdermann doesn't tell him, since she's too much of a bitch to talk to anyway. That was certainly one of the scenes of all time. Werdermann then recaps Eva's mindset and motivation to her through her hotel door. Then, as if that is in any way equivalent, he goes on a rant about his father in the single most baffling scene of Monster.
確かにドクター・テンマはあなたの人生を狂わせた。私の父はスパイ容疑で投獄された。私は長い間スパイの息子として白い目を向けられ続けた。私も父に人生を狂わされた。だが私は屈しなかった。なぜだと思う？なぜ私が戦ってこられたと思うね？信じたからだよ。父は無実だ。父は無実だ。父は無実だ。無実だ。無実だ。私の信じた人間は無実でなければならないんだ。さあ、天馬の冤罪を立証するんだ。天馬は無実でなくてはならないんだ。私の父が無実でなければならないように。
Not only is this absolutely embarrassing, but again, this is not really related to Eva's problems at all. Also, wow, this guy really decided that he should be the one to talk to the difficult woman, and this is what he delivered. It's not really made better by the fact that I think Roberto's fucking drop of his father was what made him do this, which either implies that Roberto wanted him to fuck it up, or Roberto knew that this would work on Eva so that she will now call him later so that he can find out where she is. Which in either case, this is just the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. We then have a completely out of nowhere scene of Eva reminiscing about Tenma. It is way too long and serves only to remind you, the audience, and her, the character, of all the information about Tenma she already fucking knows. It's also positively aggravating. I think the background clips are enough for you to appreciate what I'm sparing you from here. The episode then ends on a phone call between Eva and Roberto, where she, of course, does not recognize his voice. Werdemann's father, not being a spy and remembering information she was already keenly aware of, now gave her sufficient motivation to support Tenma after all.